Welcome back to Basic Crypto. I am Connor Olstad.
I'm Nathan Height.
And we are here talking about staking.
Yes.
Passive income to the nines.
I didn't realize that could happen with cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Yeah. And so...
what is staking? How do I, what is it? How do I do that?
Yeah, let's start with what it is. So staking is, it's kind of like, it would be the equivalent of putting your money into a savings account and letting it earn interest.
Oh.
Okay. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on underneath that makes it so that you are earning interest. And the only coins that you can stake are ones that run on a network that the algorithm is a proof of stake protocol or algorithm or whatever you want to call it.
And that is what you called in the previous podcast in the Ethereum killer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, because so Bitcoin is run on proof of work.
Right.
Okay. Ethereum is also run currently on proof of work, and they are trying to move to a proof of stake model. And the difference is that when it comes to proof of work, this work is presented like we need to fix this math problem, right? On the blockchain. And then a bunch of computers start guessing, right?
Right.
To figure out what the number is. And whoever guesses it first is able to wins the lottery, if you will, finishes the hash mark, finishes the block, and they get the reward. So one computer gets the reward out of this, right? Yeah. And if your computer is super powerful, it can guess a lot more. You have a higher chance of winning. You probably are going to win more. You're going to be able to mine more, and then it just grows and grows and grows, right?
Okay.
And so it's like it's a decentralized network, but it's also kind of like can be centralized because whoever has the most powerful computer wins. And so the rich people just get richer, and
right,
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like how the proof of stake model works is that if you have to lock up your coins, okay, into what they call a staking pool.
Okay.
And you have to have a certain amount to become a validator. Okay, your computer has to have a certain amount to become a validator. And it's a very risky thing to be a validator because if you do the validations wrong, or if your validation computer does it wrong, then you can lose those coins because you're staking them, right? Yeah. It's like me putting down something and be like, I know that I can do this, and I'm putting down $10 because if I do it wrong, then you'll take my $10.
Okay.
Now it's not going to take all of your coins, but it would start to take some away if you have a bad validator. And that's the thing about putting something up for staking is that if you put it into a staking pool where the validator sucks, then you're going to start to lose money. You're not going to start to make money because so instead of the proof of work model where it's just randomly going and everybody says, and everybody gets to guess at the same time, first one to get it gets it. Okay. In the proof of stake model, it's somebody's randomly selected. Okay. If everybody put their chips in the middle and they pull out one chip and they say, okay, who does this belong to? Oh, it's me. All right. You do the math.
So is this pretty much like roulette in some cases?
Yeah, kind of. Okay. But yeah, so somebody, and there is a sense, I should put it this way. There's a sense of randomness to it. And that's what makes it better than proof of work because it's not the most powerful computer wins.
Okay, so it's evens out the playing field.
Yeah, because people get randomly selected.
Right.
And if you're randomly selected, you do the validation. You have a track of the ledger, okay, and you check the transaction. You make sure that it's legit. You come back and you say, yes, it is legit, or no, it's not. And if it's legit, it gets put onto a block, and then everybody can check your work,
right,
and to see if it is. And if it comes out to show that you validated the false transaction, then coins get taken from you.
Okay.
Rather than you getting rewarded coins. And that's why coins have to be up for stake.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it's a better model in the sense that it's a lot less cost or energy efficient, or it's more energy efficient. It costs less for the energy to run that stuff because only one computer has to do the work instead of all these computers competing for one Bitcoin. And then when one person solves it, it's like all this wasted energy. It's like, no, like you do the energy, they check, and then we'll check your work.
Okay. So I have Avalanche.
Okay.
I just have a little bit of it.
Yep.
But in every 15 days, I can stake it block my crypto
Yep.
there, what am I doing? What is that doing by like, okay, I'm going to wait 15 days and maybe get something, or is it like I'm going to get a percentage every single time? Or explain to me what is going on in that area.
Yeah. So you are actually trusting your AVAX coins to somebody else, to a different validator.
Okay.
You're putting it into a staking pool with other individuals, because I anticipate that you don't have a computer that's actually doing the validations.
No, it's
right?
it's just an app on my iPhone.
Yeah. And so you are, and it's an app on OKCoin. We'll leave a link in the description for that.
Right.
But, and you are trusting OKCoin to be the validator, or to put it into whatever staking pool that it has and start to validate Avalanche transactions.
Okay.
Okay. And then when OKCoin's computer, or the part of the staking pool that you are a part of, gets selected that says you can be the validator for this transaction, it validates it, it gets its reward, and then a percentage comes back to you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And your
That's
percentage of the staking pool. So the more coins you have in it, the higher obviously money you're going to get, but it ends up being essentially a percentage yield. APY is what it's called, average percentage yield. And that changes, that adjusts different.
Yeah, that can change all the time. So essentially, let me see if I could put this in layman's terms. I am playing roulette, but not really. I'm giving my money to someone that knows how to play roulette, and they will try to put it on the right number, but they get the big major reward, and I get a percentage of that. The validator does.
But the sense of playing roulette, the where you're kind of like getting off, is that the sense of playing roulette is that you could lose that money, and you can, but it's just not as likely. It
Sure.
can be
right.
It can be pretty secure, especially on legitimate networks, and if you're using legitimate validators.
Gotcha.
Okay. But if you're using validators that suck, then yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. That makes sense to me now.
If you want to get into staking, the best thing to do is to find an exchange that will stake for you, and you are trusting your coins to somebody else. And so that's, it's not the best, but it's how you can make money doing this stuff. And right now, USDC, you can stake USDC, and USDC is a stable coin. You can stake Tether as well, but I don't recommend staking Tether for other reasons.
Okay.
USDC, and we'll talk about stable coins in the next podcast, but it doesn't change its value. The USDC's value is always going to be $1 because it's locked, right? That's the way that smart contract is written. You put in $1, a US dollar, you get one USDC coin.
Okay.
And if you take out a USDC coin, I get $1. Okay. However I was saying that, if that makes sense.
I get it.
And so you can put in all of your dollars into USDCs. They are locked, and then you can stake them, and it will have, and right now on OKCoin, it has an average of like 4 or 5% return, which is way better than any savings account that you have.
Right.
Your savings account are usually like fractions of a percent. And so I can see in the future where it would be a situation where people will, especially for coins that are, stable coins that are locked at their price, people will put in their savings, put them into stable coins, stake them, and then if they ever need them, they unfreeze the accounts. Takes about 48 hours. They would get their coins back, and then they would be able to transact them out and spend them.
So what programs out there would you, recommend? And I know we've mentioned OKCoin. What would you?
BitTrue does it. Okay. Coinbase is probably going to do it. Uphold does it as well. I will put links in the description for the different exchanges that I have that I know do it. And some of them do it on a higher percentage than others. And that changes because the more people that enter into the staking pool, obviously your percentage is going to go down. But if you have a decent chunk in the staking pool, because once the pool is full, then the percentage drops drastically,
right?
Because it's like, we don't need any more coins. Right. So yeah. And, the other thing that I want to kind of touch on is there are other coins out there that say that they are putting into and staking, but they're not actually staking because they're not run on a proof of stake network. They just are trying to give you incentive to leave your coins alone so that they can do other things with them. And so definitely be careful of those coins, because it's not necessarily staking. It's, staking is run on only networks that have a proof of stake network. And they can be fairly secure if you do it right. And doing it through exchanges is, it's done well for a lot of people to this point, and that is all going to change in the near future to make it better, and especially when banks start getting involved with it, or different big computer companies that want to validate transactions, that you're going to be able to put your coins in because people can make money off of it. If you give me your AVAX, okay, I stake it with mine, and my computer runs the stuff, I'm only going to give you a fraction of what I made, because that would be what in our agreement, our smart contract between the two of us, right, is, you're going to get 5% of what I'm making. Well, and it ends up to be about 10% of what the coins that you put in. Mm-hmm. So
does locking my coins, like we have, like Avalanche AVAX is 15 days. Does it matter how long I stake it for? Is there do I get a bigger percentage yield if it were the longer I lock them in? Depends
on the coin.
Okay.
Miami coin is one that you can lock up and stake. And that one was it did it you had two options. You could do one cycle that was 12 days or 14 days, I think, and then one cycle that was 12 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. And so it depends on the coin and how they have it. There was another coin that I know of that had it, you lock it up for a year. Okay. And it wasn't run on a proof of stake model. And so it's not necessarily one that I believe in. And so I'm not even going to mention it here, but, but it depends on the coin.
Gotcha.
For DOT is what it's called. You can stake it indefinitely. It's a flexible staking model. And so you put it down and you say, okay, it's being staked, and then DOT, it goes into a staking pool and just stays there and just continues to earn interest.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah. And DOT is usually the highest yield on different platforms. So I definitely, if you want to get into staking, I recommend picking up some DOT and going in, Uphold or OKCoin or something like that and doing it there. But, there is risk to it. So definitely do some research and figure that out. And know that any money that you're putting up there that is not in your cold wallet, you don't have 100% control of.
Yeah.
And so definitely keep 100% control of it. But know that your coins aren't going really anywhere. Well, that's a bad way of saying it. When you're locking them up, you should be able to get them back if all goes according to plan. It just is in rare circumstances it doesn't. And it can be a risk, but it also can get you some decent change in the meantime. So
that's pretty cool.
Did I answer everything when it comes to staking? Does that all make sense?
It all makes sense. It's definitely something I want to look a little bit more into. As far as you've answered all of my questions.
There is a difference to the DeFi network and all this DeFi stuff that comes out. That is getting more into loans and stuff. Oh. And so it is a little bit different. And so we should definitely talk about that in a future podcast because it all runs like it's money,
Sure.
And people need to use coins for certain things. They need to have coins set aside for certain things, and being able to say you can have my coins as a set aside part as long as I get a reward in the end. It happens in different ways. And the difference in this is that instead of banks taking their fees, because banks are the ones that hand you your savings account percentage, instead of them taking their fees to do that, it's going out to the people that are actually doing the work for it, which are validators and people putting up their coins, so you can get more.
That's very, very cool.
So
I like it.
Yeah, definitely check the links in the description to see if there's any places that you might want to stake your coins if you have some, or if you wanted to get some. And that's about it. Shoot me a tweet if you have any more questions about staking or anything else, and we will talk to you guys later.